Tell me when you're ready. All right, we'll go ahead and get started with Coach Chris Weinke. Open it right up for questions. Good. Kelly?
You have gone from maybe being a little understaffed at quarterback to now having 4 guys on scholarship plus Brody and some other walk-ons. Just what has it been like to work with so many different quarterbacks and break in some young guys and have experience coming back as well?
Well, first of all, it's been a lot of fun. I love coming to work every day, and that's because of the players. And I think there's certain things that we look for in this position, and our room is full of it. One, it's the toughness. It's leadership qualities. And when you look at it, the guys are kind of laddered out, and they all bring something a little bit different to the table. So it's been a lot of fun working with them. I'm a firm believer that there's foundational things that you want the quarterback to be able to do. But I also tell those guys that it's each guy is unique, right? And so I can't coach every single guy exactly the same way, which makes my job exciting. Come to work every day with an opportunity to work with good young men, and it's been a lot of fun.
Rod?
You've coached Haynes for 1 year.
Yeah.
Is there anything when you look back over the season that you sat down with him and said, hey, I want you to do this or I want you to do that?
Yeah, it's always a process, right? Regardless of how old you are, whether you're a young guy or you've got experience, I think you always continue to learn. You always continue to develop. The challenge I have for my guys every single day is find something to get better at just a little bit each day. And I think over the collective period of time, whether it's spring ball, it's the summer, leading into camp, I think if those guys can just focus on those little things, obviously the body of work will be special when it's all said and done. More specifically with Haynes, obviously had a really good year for us, but he's a perfectionist. And I think when you look at and you go back and you watch every snap from last year, his ability to make big plays, not only with his legs but in the passing game, obviously the elephant in the room is the turnovers, right? And we have to clean that up. We cannot provide extra opportunities for the opponent. He knows that. He understands it. So you look at every single turnover and why did it happen? And you try to eliminate those things or the reason that it happened. And I think he's conscious of that. What I don't want to do is take away his aggressiveness. And he understands and knows that. I want him playing full speed, trusting his eyes, and sometimes those things happen. And I think he understands it. But his development in terms of operating our offense, high football IQ, really a joy to work with and coach. He speaks the language at a high level, understands it, and I only think he's gotten better since last year. I think you look at his release, it's quicker than it was a year ago. It's been something he's been conscious of, but his leadership qualities and what he's done for this football team is special.
Jackson?
Coach, you got 2 freshman quarterbacks going through their first spring practice. What have you seen through them through the first few practices, and how important is it for quarterbacks to get in early and start spring?
Yeah, I think it's really important, especially at that position. When you're running a pro-style offense with a lot of verbiage and trying to create mismatches, as a young quarterback, they're no different than most young quarterbacks I've been around. They're still learning the information, and what I share with them is that I've been there. I know what it feels like. So what happens is as they continue to try to understand what we're doing, the body physically slows down. So that's where they're at right now. They're great additions to the room. They're wired the right way. They want to be great. They want to be coached. I couldn't ask for 2 better guys in that room. I think the bonus that they have sitting in this room is you've got 2 older guys, right, that have been there and done it. They kind of observe how they go about their business. And I think the sky's the limit for both of those young guys.
Chad?
Added assistant head coach, to your title. What did it mean to you for Brent to come to you and give that to you?
Well, one, it's an honor. I think when you really look at any type of organization, I think it's important you surround yourself with people that you trust. And I think it's important that you have people that you trust that you can utilize as a resource. I didn't ask for the title, but I've built a really good relationship over the years with Coach Key. I simply have said to him that I want to help you any way that I can. when you were an assistant coach and you became a head coach, you wear a lot of different hats. He's pulled in a lot of different directions. I'm simply trying to ease the stress and anxiety that comes with being a young head coach. And I think for me, it's an opportunity to be able to help any way I can. I'm a resource for him. He throws a lot of things off of me. Ultimately, obviously, we know he runs this program, and I try to help guide him and be a GPS system to help when he asks for it. So, great honor, something I'm proud of, and I take great pride in it.
Anything over here, Mossville?
Coach, kind of bouncing off of that question, you've been here a couple years now. How would you sort of give a state of the program, given from what it was when you first got here, and maybe specifically the offense, to what it is right now this spring?
Yeah, anytime you go into a new place, you kind of observe and try to take in what that culture is, what that environment is. I know this, that when Coach took over, the mentality of the whole program and the building changed. He preaches toughness every day. It's what we talk about every day, regardless of position. I think you've got a full buy-in, and I think when you're in a program and you can walk in the locker room and you can feel that and sense that, it's special, because it doesn't happen everywhere, regardless of the level. And I think what's happened is he's created this culture and this environment. We've brought the right kids into this program. They have bought in. They're here for each other, to support each other. But the ultimate goal is to have a championship mindset every single day. Those guys know that, believe it, and live it every day. So it's, to me, he's done an outstanding job of simply creating a culture. And I think that's a cliche. I think that people use that all the time. Hey, we're a family here. Hey, we've got a great culture. What does that really mean? It means you have the right people in the building, collectively pulling the rope together in the same direction. And I think that's really important, and he's done an outstanding job with that.
Hey, Coach, for you, do you set certain benchmarks for you to be able to say, like, this has been a successful spring so far?
Yeah, I think you have to be a little cautious saying, hey, this is what we're trying to reach. I'm a firm believer that since the day I started playing sports, that I've always set my goals really high. Do you always reach them? No. But I think if you don't have a plan, it's hard to reach that final destination. You know, we all have phones, and if we punch in an address in the GPS system, we expect that it's going to bring us to the right place. And so it's no different than in our everyday lives as coaches dealing with our players. We're simply trying to help teach them. And obviously internally, there's certain things I want to try to accomplish, but everything's a little bit different with each guy. I mean, you have a starter, okay, and his goals are going to be different than a true freshman coming in. So I think if you can understand that it's not just one goal, I think it is a process. To me, the springtime is we've, in essence, brought a lot of new faces in this building, whether they're young or they're transfers. And I think because of that, they've adapted to this culture, to this environment. And so I think when you start to put too many things or too many goals set in stone, sometimes you become frustrated and you become disappointed. And I think for us, we want to see guys playing with energy and enthusiasm, being disciplined and detailed, and playing with toughness. And I think that permeates through the whole building.
Okay, time for a couple more.
Coach, this is the first time you've had the same top two and the same offense also rolling into a year. Does it allow you to do maybe more refinement, more focus on details and stuff? And then also you have the challenge of the two freshmen trying to mix them in. How do you kind of balance all that?
Yeah, so it's a really fun part of coaching. And when you only get 1 year to work with a guy or for a half a year or whatever it is, I think there's no substitute for experience. And I think when you look at this football team, more specifically offensively, we got everybody back, almost everybody. A couple of guys, obviously, losing Dante hurts, and we lose our right guard Skaggs. But for the most part, the core of our offense, is back, excited about what we're doing. But it allows us now to continue to expand on what we did. Whereas a year ago, a new staff, a new philosophy, a new scheme, and then now you have to teach the kids so they can't play fast. They don't understand it yet. And I think as you saw as the year went on, we became more creative. And now we've taken all of those things and we can continue to build because you've got quarterbacks that are very cerebral. They understand it. They control our offense, and it allows Buster and the rest of the staff, obviously, to be able to continue to be creative and add to it. And I think it's probably one of the most exciting offenses in the country.
On that same subject, you got the top maybe 5 or 6 offensive linemen back. Does that allow you to do more things with Haynes?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, it's the old adage, everything starts up front, right? And that's the truth. For us to accomplish what we want to accomplish on offense, it's going to start with those guys up front. Now, those guys, another year under their belt, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're smarter, they have more experience, allows us to continue to build on this thing and be more exotic than we were a year ago. So we have great trust and faith in those guys up front. And not only that, now you've got a bunch of young guys that we brought in that I feel really good about, that are seeing how the older guys are doing it, that are really talented. I feel as good about this offensive line group as any group that I've been around.
Anything else? Chad, if you want to wrap this up.
Do you guys have a scrimmage on Saturday?
We do.
What do you want to see out of the offense that day?
Yeah, so one, to me, it's about execution, right? Hey, can we get lined up? Okay, so it's alignment, assignment, execution, right? And so we're not looking for anything more specific than, hey, listen, are we getting lined up? Are we playing with a sense of urgency? Are we being detailed in our fundamentals? And then most importantly, are we protecting the football? Obviously, the defensive coaches are telling the guys, let's strip the ball, let's get turnovers. Well, on our side, we're saying protect the football. It's what helps you win games. That historical data tells you that, hey, if you protect the football, you got a higher chance to win the game. So that's been our battle cry from day one, protect the football. I want to see my quarterbacks play at a high level, make good decisions, and then obviously everybody protect the football.
Okay, anything else?
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate you all.